There's a lot to unpack here. Oh my goodness. Draft week is done. We got some we can pat ourselves on the back. Let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This is your host, your couch rider Raven, saying, "Hey, what's happening? Draft weekend? Oh man, had to be a lot of fun, a lot of anxiousness, a lot of hey, that's not the one, but that'll do. A lot of busy Raven business going on. I'm very satisfied with the weekend. You know what? I'll be very satisfied with you if you hit the like button, hit subscribe. That's yeah. Sorry, I had to bounce out for a second. I think we are back now. We are back. So, with that said, thanks for coming through. Thanks for still rocking with your boy. We had some technical difficulties for a moment there, and we are back in action. What was I about to do? Oh, you know what? I might have forgotten to invite a certain friend of ours to the room. He's probably gonna give me some crap about it, but we'll see Camru hopefully here in a second if he's still up to come to the show tonight. You know, he's a busy man. He's got to go save the world and shake babies and kiss hands and whatnot. There, you know, all that goodness. So, but give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the draft? Go ahead and drop those in the comments because you know it was a. I feel like it was a good weekend. I feel like it was a pretty good weekend for the Ravens. I think it was a pretty good weekend to be a Ravens fan. We really stole some stuff. We really did. I was very excited about everything that we happened to take out of the draft. Like I said, it wasn't the most magnificent. Hey, this is but everything I decided that we were going to pick. But I'm not Eric DeCosta. I ain't got the war room in front of me that is throwing people off from picks from a few years ago. I don't know if y'all caught that, but you know, it was. I feel like overall, I think we should be proud of everything that was picked, and I'll get into that in just a second. Let me just get this message off to Camru so that we can get this main man in the room. And get his thoughts on this draft as well. All right, now that is sent off. We have taken care of business. Let's see who's here. Brooke is here on time, y'all. Lisa is here as well. She says, "Hey, Jermaine, what did you think about Mike Green out of Marshall?" I'm pretty excited. I'm, you know, when's the last time we had like that dude pass rusher that we drafted, right? We haven't had that dude since T. Sizzle, if we're being honest. But now I think we might have that dude. Team him up with Owe. I know that everybody's excited about Calvin Owe and what he's bringing to the table. His pass rushing skill set is great. Is fantastic. But if we have homegrown talent, I'm excited. I'm pumped. I am ready to rock. I think these Ravens here are going to be something nasty. It's going to be something different. But don't get me wrong. There were a lot of teams who benefited big time out of this draft. Like I said before the draft, I was like, there's no real losers in this draft unless your team's got 5 quarterbacks on the roster and nobody knows who's starting out of them 5. I'm sorry, Wilbert. You see it. I saw you. I saw your comments on Facebook. It was there. It was out there. All right, let's see. Yeah, excuse me just a second. I got people yelling on the background. We got technical difficulties. We got people yelling. It was like, nah, hey, is he doing a show? Actually, yeah. That's a great idea right now. Let's do that. Okay. Anyway, so yes, thoughts out of Mike Green. This is one of the most electric pass rushes in college football. This is a top 10 pick. He had some allegations against him since 2022. And my thoughts are, if what I get that sexual assault is a serious accusation, but until they actually go file the police reports, um, it's just an accusation. I mean, we don't know if it's false. We don't know if it's real. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the judge, jury, and executioner. But right now, what I don't have is a gavel. And we don't have a gavel. And these NFL owners don't have a gavel. Nobody has a gavel to prove this guy guilty right now. And I think that is what Eric DeCosta came up with when he did that investigation to see, hey, look, this guy's had his nose clean since 2022. And I'm not saying that's a significant amount of time, but you got to think about it. We're in 25 right now. Nothing's come of these allegations. It's time to move on and let this guy play ball and get him a really good mentor, somebody who's going to coach him out of these situations to where he can get either taken advantage of or he's making that bad decision. Not sure which one. Like I said, don't want to, I want to be on this tightrope, making sure that I'm not leaning one way or another. I recognize allegations are serious, but we are talking about ball on the field right now. And we're getting a significant player who could be a dog for the Ravens. And I'll leave it at that. All right. Brooke is correct. She said ADC cooked. Yes, he did. This man was cooking the grits. Everything had the cheese on it. It was insane. I don't even need grits, but I'm just saying he cooked. This man was in the kitchen cooking all the yams. It was so good. Everything. Here we go. Lisa says, I'm not sure about Tyler Loop. I will be willing to give him a chance. So, with that comes our moment of controversy. Today's moment of controversy will be brought to you by absolutely nobody because we don't have sponsors. You want to sponsor the show? Please hit me up at freshthumper@gmail.com. Hey, the moment of controversy for today is who you with? Which side are you on? Because it's time, folks. It is time. Do you rock with Tuck? Or are you trying to stay in the loop? Team Tucker and Team Loop, you can't be on the fence with this. You have to choose. Choose or die. I mean, I'm just saying, it's just choose. Because the Ravens will have to choose here. They can talk about the press conference right now, this, that, and the other, but when you spend a draft pick, the first draft pick the Ravens have spent on a kicker in NFL history. So what you gonna do? What are you gonna do when you made history with the pick? When you got a guy over here, I mean, in practice, I'm just talking about it, saying it's practice right now. I can see if it was the real game, but it's practice. He's hitting 65 and 70 yards, whatever, like somebody else we know. Looking good. Accuracy. Let's see. There was so much information I had to break down from this draft. I had to take a lot of notes, and I will give you information on this guy who set an Arizona program record with a 62-yard field goal in 2024. He made 67 of 80 field goals at an 83.75%. And it's straight. 126 of 128 extra points during his career. I like him. He even got an award. He was a semifinalist for the Luke Garza Award in 23 and in 24. Got Special Teams Player of the Week. Is like Big 12 team Special Teams Player of the Week. And what week was that? He made 5 field goals in a single game against Texas Tech. This guy can be that successor. He can take over the game for Justin Tucker and give us that guy that we were looking for to be consistent again. Am I with him? Or am I with Tuck? That is the question. It's too early, though. I know I've been asking you all to choose, but I don't think I can do it. I just think, I don't know. I'm a fan of Tuck. I've always been a fan of Tuck. He still is on my wall over here. He's on my wall. Nah, I can't just go take Tuck down. Yeah, he's got them 16 allegations, but they just have the allegations. I remember I was like, look, there's no gavel. The gavel has not dropped. Sure, they say he got kicked out of 16 parlors. I don't know. These are all allegations. They also said back in the day that Peyton Manning had sexual assault and his daddy bought a wing for the school. So they got swept under the rug. These are all rumors. They said, Shadur Sanders didn't prepare for an interview. It caused 32 teams to pass on him a few times. Who knows? We don't know. And I might have went off on Twitter about what I didn't know. I'm sorry about that. That's my fault. Anyway, let's get some of your thoughts here. I'm over here just chatting it up. All right, we got some people making the decisions about who they with. First of all, Gerald said, "What's up?" Hey, what's good, man? Lisa says she's going to give Tyler Loop a chance. Man, we talked about a second ago. I'll get into the other draft comments here in a second. We are still talking about Tyler Loop. So I need to see Tyler. I need Tyler Loop to. I'll be willing to give him a chance. I'm with you. How to rate the draft. Lisa says JT. Team JT all the way. Okay. She's not giving up on her boy. Last year, 4-week 10, I was very frustrated. I started looking at the trash bins for other kickers that we could sign. Brooks saying, I think Tucker may retire. I think if he does get beat out in camp, because I think he will show up to camp, because I think Tucker's a competitive guy. He's a guy who's like, all right, look, that's what we doing now? He's going to come to camp. I think he is going to come to camp and compete. And he's going to force the Ravens to make a decision. Do you trust me? Are you rocking with me? But if you ain't rocking with me, my heart's broken. I'm going to retire. I think that's how that situation is going to go down. If he gets beat in camp, fair and square, cool. I probably think he's going to hang it up. I don't think there's a revenge type mentality with this guy who he's shown nothing but loves to the city of Baltimore. I think he wants to go out as a Raven. I don't think there's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or Cleveland Brown uniform going on, or even Cincinnati Bengals. I think all of those kickers, or at least 2 out of those 3 kickers, are pretty solid over there. So, too much on his plate, possibly. Brooke also says, I personally don't think the Ravens will straight up cut him unless the NFL investigation finds something. Yes, now they find it, of course, yeah, he gone. But I'm saying if it's still lingering and he has to compete and he loses the competition, he'll retire. Now, if he wins that competition and the Ravens send Loop out the loop and end up cutting him, of course we're rocking with him because that's just kind of Captain Obvious there. But he's going to make us regret it if he wins that competition. He's going to be like, hey, look, he's going to make us say sorry, because some of us rock with Loop. I'm curious. I'm curious, folks. I want to see what's up with Loop. I want to see Loop a full season. So maybe it's time. Maybe it's time I take the picture down. Nah, he's a legend. He's staying up. Maybe I have 2 kickers in the room. Who knows? Be weird, right? Brooke says she is standing by Tucker until there's proof of wrongdoing. Like I said, I'm not talking about the wrongdoing. I'm talking about talent. Do you have the talent still to keep knocking out 60 plus yarders like you did back in the day. Are you still automatic? All right. Jacob says, who are your favorite undrafted free agents? Are there any guys expected to make the roster? That one kid from Nebraska or Wisconsin? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm from Louisiana, but I currently live in Nebraska. And there's a story behind that. I don't know if you go back and watch the tape about how I ended up becoming a Baltimore Ravens fan. Parents from Maryland. That's just basically the start of it. Anyway, so I'm stationed here in Nebraska. So of course, in these cornfields, you have to talk about the game, and that's usually whoever Nebraska is facing. So to see the Ravens sign a few of the National Nebraska Cornhuskers, whether it be wide receivers, fat boys, whatever, I get kind of excited. Iowa guys too, because we're sitting right there on the border. I live in Bellevue, like right underneath Omaha. So you drive 5 minutes and poof, you're in Iowa. So it's easy to become a fan of both. And the players that we signed, we liked apparently a lot of players from the middle of the country. I mean, Minnesota, Nebraska, Iowa. It was just so many players that we signed. And I'll get into those in just a minute because I want to talk about our draft picks, but I also want to talk about the undrafted picks. I got some notes on those guys, some things we may not know, and I want to share with y'all today. Okay. Lisa says Deion Summers taken in the 5th round for the Browns. I knew that was coming up tonight. Let's see. I'm pretty sure they informed. Yeah, he was informed about the Tucker getting drafted. Roy says Tucker's gone. Gerald says I'm standing by Tucker, but I still want to see what Tyler Luke can do. That's where I'm kind of at. I'm on the fence right now, and I'll go ahead and do that tightrope because I just want to see the competitor. I want to see which one of these got that competitor in them. Who's going to bring it? You know, we had that guy that came out a couple of years back that was it Eric DeCosta or Ozzie Newsome traded for a 4th round pick with Minnesota. And I think that was exceptional because he ended up flopping after. But I want to see this guy, you know, really show up in the league because he did it in Arizona and it sounded like he was consistent. And the videos are there. It's just fun. It's a fun situation to where we have a controversy at kicker, which is, you know, like almost unheard of for each team, right? Vedvik, yeah. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate you, man. So we got a 5th for him. I bet. All right, Camp Ashland, Nebraska was crazy. Okay. Would be a starting kicker. That's what Roy says. D says, my favorite non-green start kick was Peebles. Any defensive tackle whose nickname is FUB, Fat Ugly Baby. I like that. It's a good sign to be a Pierce replacement. Yes, I agree. All right, so we get into it. Let's just go ahead and talk it out, folks. So we are talking about we'll talk about the draft picks. We'll just go round by round. We'll talk it up. All right. So as far as the draft picks go, Malachi Starks, everybody's already talked about that. My thing was, why did the world know 2 months ahead of time what the Ravens were going to do? Usually, people don't know our next move, but this was just best player available, best safety in the draft, an easy pick for Eric DeCosta. It is what it is. I mean, we talked about the talent level of this kid. I talked about the reasons why we shouldn't, or at least I tried to, and I recognized how great of a talent he is. And now we got a safety duo back there. I didn't even say trio because I'm gonna give Washington his flowers, man. He got 2 dudes fired. Let's just call it what it is. He got 2 dudes fired last year because his talent level was better than both of them. Malachi Starks is a dynamic safety that you can put in the slot. You can put him back in the 3rd. He's a willing tackler. He's got dynamic speed. He's an exceptional baller. Hungry. He gonna get after it. It is going to be exciting this year watching these guys and how they're interchangeable. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. All right, so that's your 1st round pick, Malachi Starks, safety, Georgia. Like I said, known for his instinctual play and understanding of complex football schemes. He's got good speed and agility. I mentioned that already. He's demonstrated leadership abilities. So, of course, you love guys who can come in and immediately take that leadership presence. And if he can lead that back in and have that communication down pat, we won't be looking like one of the worst secondaries in the league like we did last year. Next pick, Mike Green. We have talked about this one plenty already, right? So I'm going to go ahead and skip that one. That was Mike Green's. That's the Ravens' second round pick, number 59. Let's go to round 3 here. So, like I told you, I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Bossier City, Louisiana. They say Bossier City where the girls are, the brothers is pretty. That's how we pretty boys. But whatever. Louisiana offensive tackle Emory Jones Jr. Now, when they picked this guy up, and I was like, oh man, okay, we got some tackle depth. Well, no, I think the key to this draft was versatility, because an offensive tackle who's going to push into the guard, it's going to be pretty straight. He started 2 games as a true freshman at LSU. Like I said, there's a lot of information here that I had to write down or type up. So I'll be sharing. You'll be seeing a lot of this and down here a little bit. But he had all SEC honors. He earned the second SEC recognition twice in his college career. He had a high PFF ranking. I'm not a big fan of Pro Football Cap, but he was on there, rated among the top 10 returning offensive tackles in 2024. So you're like, why is he moving into guard? Well, he gonna do what we need him to do. I'm glad he's flexible. So he's capable of playing multiple positions along the offensive line, and he's praised for his dedication and improvement to team first mentality. Excuse me. All right, so that is our 3rd round pick, number 91, Emory Jones Jr., offensive tackle, who can play some guard. So I'd love to see him at the left guard position. We figure out what we're gonna do with the right position. No, it's gonna be one crazy competition, because the guys I'm about to talk about in a couple minutes here, you can't teach what they got. You can't teach what they got. They got size. Pause. They have, you can't teach size. Like, they are just massive, behemoth, cornbread eating mofos. It is insane looking at the size of these gentlemen who, they were undrafted. I'm like, so obviously we just need to get some footwork together. Get that footwork together. We should be good, because we don't need no fillet out that big for no reason. All right, so now we are in the 4th round. 4th round is going to be pick number 129, and that's Teddy Buchanan. Looks like Teddy, but yeah. Linebacker out of California. So this dude, he recorded 114 tackles and 5 sacks in his lone season in Cal. He was named an ACC, all ACC team in 2024, because dude's a baller. What you want me to say? So he's been moving around a little bit. He was in the transfer portal, moved from UC Davis to Cal, making an immediate impact in there once he got there. He served as a defensive leader for this team. Like I said, more leadership and versatility. All right, so he served as that defensive leader, known for his communication, on and on field awareness. Got like guys with awareness over there, because we got Simpson, Trent Simpson, right? He's got speed. He's got athleticism. But his awareness was down so much he ended up getting benched last year. So this guy, having him come out there and play with the will next to Roquan, will be pretty nice. But there's other guys we picked up who have that ability to compete as well. All right, they're going to be out there competing like some dogs. Let's pay some bills. Y'all been tired. Y'all been chatting. Let's go. All right, let's see. Great to get DGD. DG. So we over here got nicknames already, bro. He ain't even got out the bus. You got him a nickname. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and see who DGD is for a second. Hey, you got so many. Oh, is that Garrett Dillinger, the offensive guard? Yeah, sorry, LSU guy. That's why you thought I knew his name. Mm-hmm. So our Darius, okay, you like a Darius? Definitely a big fan of our Darius. I think this is one of the guys who's been underappreciated. We need to recognize that he was worth more than the tender that we put on him. It was a no. Basically, if we lost him, they were like, "Oh well." And once they put a tender on him like that, that should have given us the key, given us an idea like, "Hey, we are definitely going after a safety in the draft, and we did not value our Darius enough to put a tender on him." And that was kind of disrespectful. I'll be honest with you. That was downright disrespectful. If I'm Ardarius, I feel like they didn't value you, and they still haven't valued you. I'm not saying you should leave, but I'm saying show them this year that this is probably your last year in Baltimore because you're gonna go ball out and get this contract for somebody else. Um, and that's how it's a business. It's a business and things, and we're gonna be able to pay him and Kyle Hamilton and all these other cats that got to get paid. So we're gonna see our Darius this season, but next year he is going to prove to us that he is that guy, and he's going to prove that this year, and then go get paid next year by another team. All right, Delicious is here. He said, I was sold after getting Mike Green and still can't believe it. I know it's just insane how we stole that. And I guess the interview process and people's history, conduct, it's all boiled into where you get drafted. I mean, there's a lot of politics involved, but there's also a lot of legal issues and everything else about these players. And I believe it is amazing that we just happen to have a guy drop into the Ravens' laps that has this talent level. It's fantastic. Okay. I'm going to skip down just a little bit. All right, so Teddy has an E at the end of his first name. Yeah, yeah. So it looks like Teddy, but it's Teddy. It's Teddy. Moving on, we are I think we're in the fifth round, I believe. Yes, Carson Vincent, offensive tackle out of Alabama A&M. So he's got the Alabama culture. You got that Southern culture right here. So he started 48 games of his college career, and he was consistent. He achieved an 89% overall offensive line grade. So a good performance. And he had 61 knockdowns and only one sack allowed. Dog. All-American honors. He earned multiple accolades, including the Africa FCS Coaches All-America Second Team. And then he was a Senior Bowl invitee. He's the first HBCU player invited to the 2025 Reese's Senior Bowl. Making history. Okay. You love to see it. And then he was a pivotal role player in the offense and leading the SWAC in total offense and passing offense in 2024. So look, if you keeping your quarterback empty and able to have those type of honors on you, kudos. Welcome to the flock. Let's see this guy compete. And I love the pick because we're getting continued depth behind Stanley, depth behind Rosengarten. And then let's go ahead into round 6. Everybody seems to be very high on this gentleman because he came from nothing. He clawed, he scratched, he climbed his way into the NFL. Bilal Cohn, JUCO transfer. So he transferred from a junior college to Western Michigan and bringing his athleticism and size to the secondary. So, when you got guys coming from a junior college to transfer to a smaller, basically Western Michigan it's a smaller school. But he's known for his physicality. And he's a developmental player who may need time to refine his skills. But his athleticism and his ability to be willing on special teams is where it's at, folks. That's how you make a team. You want to make a team, you got to grind on special teams. You got to be a madman if you're a return specialist, for one, because people coming at you like crazy trying to knock your head off. But to be willing to be that person that's never really mentioned, but you grinding and they see it on the tape on special teams, that's how you make a team. And then the size advantage. So he stands a notable height for a cornerback and is advantageous in covering taller receivers. We need somebody to cover who? Pickens. We need somebody to cover who? DK Metcalf. Yeah. And of course, Higgins is for Cincinnati. He's pretty tall as well. So you need these tall guys. Like I said, with mostly these corners that we picked up, they're gonna need a sandwich. Let's just call it what it is. They coming up to this next level. The nutritionist needs to go ahead and take them to the candy store and let them get all the Sour Patch Kids, because that seems like what happens to me is just I eat them and I just blow up. So they need to get you a few of them, gain some weight, go to a couple buffets, eat with the defensive tackles, get that weight on them so they get back up there with the rest of the corners in this class or in our team, because I think our corners are like 205. That's what we used to, right? Except for Wiggins, he still need that sandwich. All right. Next, we are in round 6. That's pick number 186. We talked about this. I know it's going to be one heck of a competition. I'm going to leave it at that because we talked about that ad nauseum already. Tyler Loop, kicker, Arizona. Let's see. Now this one this next pick, this is round 6, pick number 203. We had quite a few. We had 4 6-round picks. This pick, I was expecting us to get Jimmy Horn. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Jimmy Horn was gonna be that dude, like, because you watched the tape on Jimmy, you saw the extra effort, it was all there. But when you have a wide receiver who scores just as many touchdowns as the second overall pick on the same team, you got to make the smart choice. This guy, LaJohntay Wester, wide receiver, Colorado, 74 receptions, 931 yards, and 10 touchdowns in his lone season in Colorado. You got to love it. This is a smart pick. I absolutely love this pick because all the tutored receivingness and cornerbackness of Hunter was overshadowed, or it was overshadowing this guy. You score 10 touchdowns and nobody really mentions your name that much, and Baltimore just slides and it catches you in the 6th round. We got somebody who's going to grind. This is a stunt double for Zay Flowers with that longevity. This is what we should do. At the last 3 games of the season, we know Zay a baller, but we should go ahead and just go ahead and put him on the bench because we don't want no injuries towards the end of the season. If he's healthy, bench him. Be like, all right, we appreciate you, but we putting in LaJohntay. Your stunt double is here. Go get it. Let's see what he got. All right, so he holds the active FBS record for consecutive games with the reception. He's got 50 games with the reception, dating back to his time at Florida Atlantic. Wow, exceptional. Good specialist. Got a 76-yard punt return for a touchdown. Y'all saw that? I don't know. I'm pretty sure y'all saw the highlights on that. But he's ranked among Colorado's single-season leaders in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Yeah, baller. Absolute ball. I'm excited about LaJohntay Wester. All right, let's see. Is Wilbur here? Oh, Wilbur is in the building. He says, Sanders. Sir. Yeah. What y'all gonna do, man? Because I mean, since we here, we gonna discuss it. I already knew it was gonna come up. You got Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel. You traded for Kenny Pickett. Who am I missing here? You got Sanders, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett. Oh, my bad. The dude who like hangs around massage parlors or whatever. I'm not sure what's going on. And of course, you can fire back and say Tucker too. Yeah, it's even fire. We both shoot. Pop, pop. So, Deshaun. Let's say Deshaun has a resurgent year or a resurgent offseason. It looks great. I mean, you're paying the guy guaranteed money already. The one who we know is not on the roster come this season is Kenny. I mean, you pay the draft picks, but so what? You got actual talent over there. You got a Sanders kid who's going to go in there and grind. He wants to prove to the world that, hey, he can watch tape, that he can learn from his mistakes, and that he don't need his daddy to make decisions for him. So you're going to see a guy that's going to come in there humble. He's going to grind. And he's going to try and win that starting job. Joe Flacco is a Cleveland favorite. However, whenever he rolls to the right, we kind of know what's going to happen. It's going to be a pick. I'm just saying he can launch the ball, but he's also the reason that Justin Tucker is the greatest kicker in NFL history because he would launch the ball and then take 3 sacks. And he also couldn't throw the intermediate pass. I love Joe. I do. I love him. But the facts is facts. And there's a reason he's not with the Ravens right now. He almost was. He almost was. He turned us down. And he's probably regretting it now. Because we could have used Joe as a backup. He wouldn't have fit the system, but we'd have figured it out. Anyway, so you got 5 guys over there. I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be the sleeper. Like I said, Joe is probably the favorite right now because of the history and getting them to the playoffs, followed by, I'd say, Dylan Gabriel. And then in the back of the bus here, we got Deshaun and we got Kenny. I think those two, Deshaun's not getting cut, but Deshaun ain't going to be that guy on game day. He might be inactive on game day unless he has a full-on resurgent offseason. But I think that Sanders kid has an opportunity to start over there. What are your thoughts? Oh, yes, I did see that Deontay Johnson went to Cleveland. This is petty. This is him wanting revenge on us when we brought him in. We gave him We didn't really give him a chance, but there are opportunities where he should have been there for us and he wasn't. So that's on him. But I'm pretty sure he petty and he want to come at us. So and he want to come at the Steelers too. It's fine. All right, definitely saying, hey, what's up to Wilbur, man? Hey, we miss you, man. All right, I feel sorry for Tuck. All right, so we're rolling down. People saying I got Joe starting. Say you love to slander Joe. You remember how bad it was when Ravens flock was split apart when Lamar Jackson got drafted. It was so nasty. I'll be honest, I was part of the petty nastiness. I was making t-shirts with Lamar Jackson hopping over Joe saying, I got this, Joe. And I might have picked the ugliest of poses from Joe when he got knocked out in that game against Miami. It was cold. It was definitely petty. It was immature, and I'm sorry, but it was a war. It was a war, folks. We had a controversy, and maybe it's another controversy going on with the kickers. But I was seeing Lamar. I got tired of yelling at my TV all these years, talking about, "Hey, Joe, throw the ball. Joe, throw the ball," and he wouldn't throw the ball. So I'm appreciative of the Super Bowl, but outside of that Super Bowl, man, it was kind of frustrating watching Joe play. But I love him. I appreciate the Raven and everything he did for the flock. But anyway, let's go back here. You said they definitely did Shadir dirty. The kid who prank called him needs to be suspended. I mean, what you gonna suspend him from? He was the defensive coordinator's son's best friend. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, the defense coordinator had a security issue. Sure, there should be some behind the doors fine, paperwork or something along those lines. But ultimately, you're not going to get rid of the defense coordinator. You got plans. You got a scheme. This was a mistake, and it was terrible. It was absolutely horrible what they did. And the kid apologized. We saw they apologized. I don't know if it was legit because you can't read language on freaking on social media and don't know if it's sarcasm or not unless they type the up and down letters and whatnot. Big Red said, Joe who? Rick says, I don't want him back on the team unless he signed a one-day contract to retire too. Too much drama in him coming back. Yeah, because if we have, 2 games, bad games, you're going to hear half of a certain part of the flock. I'm not going to go there today. There might be a certain part of the flock that wants to see Joe back or would want to see Joe back. All right, Boba says, Joe's 2014 was pretty nice. He did in the playoffs. It was nice. And somehow they made that comeback with that Julian Edelman pass in the playoffs against the Patriots because he did play. He outplayed Tom in the playoffs, I think, just about every time he played him in the playoffs. But it came to regular season, we just did not see a Joe Flacco worth watching. Let's just call it what it is. 2014 was an anomaly. 2000, even the year we won the Super Bowl, Joe looked like trash that year until he got to the playoffs. Then he just turned on. I was just like, who's this guy? January Joe. And he had them dumb McDonald's commercials with Mighty Wings. It was hilarious. Anyway. Delicious says, facts, Rookie Joe needs to come back and retire here. Amen. Amen. All right. But at least we get to see him twice a year. He may put him on his back a little bit, sing a little lullaby. Him and Shadir. That's what I've said. That's what I was like the whole time. I'm like, yo, bring Shadir to the north. Bring him to the north. Because either he go to Pittsburgh, we lay him down. He comes to the Browns, we lay him down. It'd be great. And we can hear all the excuses from Dion because he's going to be in the media somehow. All right. Lisa says, Joe Flacco coming back. No, thank you. Okay. I'm with you. All right. So we are moving on. We have 2 more picks to discuss, but I really want to get into these undrafted free agents because I got some information on them. Well, LaJohntay West, like I said, big fan. Cannot wait to see this guy fight, scratch, and kick and claw to make this roster. Next is Peebles, defensive tackle, Virginia Tech. This dude was number 210, round 6, transfer success, moved from Duke to Virginia Tech and made an immediate impact on the defensive line. He earned first-team All-ACC recognition for his standout performance in 2024, and he's just kind of a stat junkie here. 31 tackles, 6.5 for loss. When you're looking at defensive tackles, you're not really caring about the tackles. How are you setting those linebackers up? How are you being used as a power pig to come after the run game or be able to just be a disruptor? You need to be a disruptive individual. And when this guy has 3 sacks in 12 games on his final season, Okay, we got some. He got some tendencies to be disruptive. I like it. He's got a high motor, and I think this is one that he had a crazy nickname already. Y'all mentioned it on the show. Good work ethic. Anytime you hear high motor, this guy, that just kind of means you play through the whistle. You give. You got a lot of heart, and you pushing. You might not be the biggest guy in the world, but you got a lot of heart in there. Anywho, next, Robert Longer Bean, cornerback, Rutgers. No, it's round pick. It's gonna be round 6, pick 212. Here's that word again, y'all. Y'all keep hearing this theme. It's the V word, not that other word. Versatility. Defender, capable of playing both outside and slot cornerback positions, inside and outside. I love it because you never know who's going to blitz based off of that. Special teams contributor, you love to see it. A lot of speed, a lot of agility, good football IQ. They said he's a developmental guy. He's got some upside. He can grow into a larger role over time. You love to see it. A smart guy. He understands defenses, can read them pretty well. Did pretty well in his interviews. All right, the next one. LSU, baby. Oh, Garrett Dillinger. So experienced starter. He's got 43 games under his belt. He was part of an offensive line that was a finalist for the Joe Moore Award in 2023. Senior Bowl invitee, positional flexibility. There it is. Flexibility, versatility. Can play multiple positions along the offensive line and good work there. There's your draft class, folks. Congratulations to those guys. Next, this is where it really goes down. Like, you want to know who's going to be that Danielle Ellerby. Who is going to be that guy that grinds and makes this roster and turns all the way up? They went with a couple running backs. Y'all want to hear about running backs, or we kind of move forward? I'm gonna leave that up to y'all. Let's see. All right, you guys are talking that talk over here. Let's see. Alicia says, "LOL. I'm glad the Steelers didn't get Shadir. I'm upset for the Steelers. I did want to see that competition, Lamar versus Shadir. Have him lead that organization. Have some, and let's see what he got. Let's see what he got, because let's just call a spade a spade. He has some exceptional wide receivers. I mean, they kicked out 70 guys and brought in, I think, 45 transfers in that first year, or it might have been kicked out 45, brought in 70. But it was a lot of changeover and a lot of talented players transferring into Deion's brand, into the organization. We need to find out if he's just part of Deion's brand or if he's actually got the talent. And he would have figured that out with the Steelers. Right now, we don't know with the Browns. We just don't. All right. What did we say? Did we say we want to hear about the running backs? 16-1. We talking about schedule? You talking about the Browns going 16-1? Hey, bruh. Anyway, want to see interview tapes to see what on. You know what the Browns do every season? Every offseason, they end up in the power rankings. Top 10, this, that, and the other. And what happens to the Browns after every offseason when the helmets come on, when we lace up, when the pads get the clickety-clackety, boy, y'all fall apart like old knees. Anyway, Delicious says, right, something ain't right, Bricky. You want to see what the interview tapes. Yeah, that is something that's like, all right, it's like the JFK tapes. They need to be released. Release them joints. Let's see what happened. Let's see what really happened. Something ain't right. 16-1 my butt. Lisa's calling a Super Bowl already. All right, speak it into existence. Let's go. Ain't no way piss off the league, blah, blah. Let's see. I'm going to go back and read it anyway. So ain't no way he was that bad to piss off the league of GMs like that. Right? Yeah, I mean, that's true. I think there may have been some collusion. But what are we going to do? What you going to do if we say, hey, it was collusion? What he going to do? Go join the XFL? Go quit the league and become like Cap? How'd that work out for Cap? Cap still ain't got a job. He ain't got no talent either. But when he tried to get back in, all those owners were pissed. Why? Because Cap cost them $3 million for an entire season per game. And I know it's a drop in the bucket, but then all of a sudden he got a payoff. And now you're telling me after he signed a go-away policy, he comes back and wants to try out? And then doesn't even do the tryout the way that the league wanted him to do the tryout? You telling me he wants a job? No. People don't want that type of headache. They don't want that media headache. Just like, I'll be honest. If I'm a general manager and I tell you to prepare for a meeting and you don't prepare for the meeting the way you need to prepare for the meeting, if we're going through some tape or something like that with the coach, you come in unprepared, I'm gonna go tell my friends, hey, yo, this kid is not it, man. We already got to deal with the LeVar Ball type situation. Uh, he don't study tape. This might just be all hype. I'm not giving him the keys to my franchise. I'll pick him later. What about you? They probably say, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. What you gonna do? It's collusion. But it ain't a thing he can do about it. But go in there and prove them all wrong. And I wish him the best of luck. He's gonna go in there, and I think he's gonna grind. But as Gerald says, there's a possibility the Browns still choke. Okay. Browns QB room is like a burger chain restaurant. Okay. Five guys. I love it. I want the Steelers to get Aaron. You know how funny that would be. Crash out Central. Amen, girl. Amen. Right here, right here. Woo, child, she spoke. She is cooking. Hey, if Aaron come to the Steelers, oh, it's gonna be so great. It is gonna be so great. You talking about dumpster fire? Dumpster fire, because he's gonna be trying to run management decisions when he need to shut up and play ball. He is old. He old, folks. He gonna get full on knocked all the way over in the AFC North, because that's what we do. We hurt people in the AFC North. The Browns got the dollars to do it. The Ravens got the dollars to do it. I'm telling you right now. And then Cincy look like they're getting their life together on defense. So watch out. They're gonna be pretty dangerous. But hey, Aaron sitting back there getting knocked around would be just so great to see. And then him seeing the frustration and the transparency he's gonna have with the media week to week. Tomlin gonna be fired before week 8. Because he got Aaron Rodgers probably in the what's that daggone family name? The Rooney family. He gonna be in their ear like, hey, just let me be GM. Let me be GM. Let me fire Tomlin. Just I can run the whole show. I can do it on my own. It's fine. And go get me like 6, 7 wide receivers that I don't necessarily need or can't even use. But yeah, I need them. Go Steelers. Yeah, I think that was definitely crazy dumb for them to be waiting on him. What's up, brother? Hey, GDK, that's my bro, yo. Hey, look, I told y'all before, you need relationship advice and need to relate it to the scriptures. My brother got you covered. He's even talking about social media and how it can be a problem for families. So tune in. Tune in to the Trust Talk podcast. He got your back. All right. So, the Steelers have Howard. He's national champion, at least. Yes, I did like that pickup. So, this is a good pickup for a guy that can come in and just go to work. All right. Yeah, thank you, Gerald, for mentioning that. So, nobody's scared of the Bengals. Tomlin going to retire after having to deal with Rodgers, Pickens, and DK. Yes, it is going to be like they need to be like the Real Housewives of Pittsburgh. It's really what it's going to be. All right. So I'm skipping out on the running backs because we already know what we have at running back. So Marcus Major Jr. out of Minnesota, I appreciate you coming to the flock and that you just completely go bonkers in camp and give us something to talk about. I don't know. Son Natul, I'll pronounce your name when you get together and you show us what you got in camp. I'm gonna go figure out that pronunciation just to respect you. Both of those guys they're right around 6 feet, 220 plus pounds. One's 220, and the other one's 236. One's a Harvey guy. It's gonna be a Harvard guy, an Ivy League guy. 46 touchdowns, pretty solid. But I'm skipping down, folks. I want to get to these other guys that we have here, the ones that have a legit shot at making the roster. Because right now, if you got Keaton Mitchell, if you got my main man Henry, if you got Justice Hill, when we gonna see these guys? When we gonna see these guys on the roster? Nope, we will not see them. So we're gonna move on down to Jamal Banks out of Nebraska. Like I said, I love these Cornhusker kids, man. You get to see them come up and play for Millard West, and then all of a sudden they get to be like one of these 3 or 4 star recruits to come to Nebraska, go and grind. It's fantastic to watch these guys. So he played for both Wake Forest and Nebraska during his college career. That's Jamal Banks. He's known for his size and catching ability. I know that Eric DeCosta promised us a big, towering wide receiver. This guy's 6'4", 220 pounds. So good red zone threat. Reliable hands, good route running throughout his tenure, and he's recognized for his leadership both on and off the field. We may be looking at a Walter Payton Award winner, maybe a grinder for that. Who knows? But he's actively participated in community service initiatives. So good heart guy, I'm sold, man. Guy with a good heart and goes to grind blue collar. Let's go. Go Jamal. All right. He'll be able to compete, but we'll see what happens. The next wide receiver, Xavier Guillory, 6'2", 200 pounds, or 6'3", 200 and 195, depending on which website you look at, or how he wake up that morning with platform shoes on. I'm not sure. But he began his his college career at Idaho State before transferring to Arizona State. So he majored in liberal studies. So he's got his head on straight. So let's go. Academics, athletics. I like it, just in case things don't work out here, because right now he's got a really big hill to climb. So let's lean on that degree. He's a social media guy, folks. If you're looking for this guy, you can find him at xay.raphael. And that's his Instagram, and his X handle is going to be at Guillory Xavier. So you can find him on both of those. He's from Spokane, Washington, and he attended Lewis and Clark High School. So he's another versatile guy. Like I said, this is the theme of the draft. They want to know, hey, can I put you in multiple positions, because this is costing me a lot of money to have to pay a lot of people different things. So if I can just pay you and you do two different jobs, then I appreciate you. Can you be on the burgers and the fries? And can you make shakes at the same time? Because I'm sick of paying Tommy over here X amount of dollars when all he do is put the lid on the shakes. Come on. I'm just saying. All right. Next is, like I said, these guys, they don't have to make me pronounce their name correctly when they show up. Kishan Johnson. Maybe it's Kishan Johnson, wide receiver, Western Kentucky. 6'1", 216 pounds. Okay. He don't need the sandwich. We good. He ate the sandwich. He ate it before he came to the draft, or was over sitting in front of the TV right there, doing that just full-on sedentary game. Physical build. Born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama. Showcasing Southern football roots. He plays a key role in Western Kentucky's offensive schemes, contributed significantly on special teams. Remember, he on the fries and the shakes. And he's known for his work ethic and team-first mentality. I like unselfish players. Now, don't get me wrong. When it comes to wide receiver position, you expect them to have that dog in them, that attitude, that mentality of, you know what, screw everybody else. I won't mind. Give me the rock because I'm trying to win games for y'all. But if you have somebody who's not going to be a liability out there, business decision maker, who's going to be there for the team, I'm with that as well. I need to see that dog. I don't need no friendly giants. No more Miles Boykin. I still got that boy card over here. Sam Pitts, tight end, Minnesota, Duluth, 6'6", 245. Like I say, you can't teach this. You can't teach size, folks. Academic achiever. So he's an academic guy, American All-American honor, the CSC academic honors. He got athletic honors as well. So he was named to the 2023 D2Football.com Elite 100 selection. Versatility again. There's that word, folks. There's the word. He's a receiver and a blocker in offensive schemes. You'd love to see it. So, sometimes you got those guys who just out there ready to make that catch as a tight end. But this guy get in the trenches and block. This is good. Served as a team captain. And he led by example on and off the field and was involved in community service. Another good-hearted guy, good character. We need those to balance out some of the stuff that we have on the team right now. I'm just saying. And then there is Jared Christian Lichtenhahn, offensive tackle, Oregon State. You see the size of this cat? Fantastic. 6'9", 329 pounds. He ate all the bagels. All of them. He went to the buffet and they told him no more. These kids for breakfast, it's just mad. This kid is off the charts huge. Anyway, he is played 33 games for Colorado before transferring to Oregon State. Pac-12 Offensive Lineman of the Week in 2023 after a great performance then. He had a team high of 827 snaps. So he's got that XP, folks. He got them XP points. Showcasing stamina and reliability. He's one of the tallest players on the field, of course. We see that. And he like versatility. Here it is again. He can play multiple positions on the offensive line. However, I just don't see Lamar Jackson trying to throw over a 6'9" guard. I mean, hitting the back of his helmet. So hopefully he stays outside. More insurance for Roger Rosengarten. And for whenever that ankle don't show up with Ronnie Stanley's, you love to see it. All right, here we are. Next, Reed Holsky, offensive tackle, Miami of Ohio, 6'6", 306 pounds. Like I said, I am loving all of these reserves hitters that are coming into camp. They got the size on them. Let's see if they got the footwork. So he served as a team captain, another guy who's got leadership skills. 13 games at right tackle in 2021, part of an offensive line that helped Miami average 140 rushing yards per game. What do we do in Baltimore? We like to run the ball. You love to see it. Academic excellence and community involvement. You love it. This is another good character guy. I'm a fan. Hopefully you're a fan. Go ahead on, boy. It's bad stuff. Anywho, moving on to Ozzie. No, not Newsom. We didn't bring him back as a player. Ozzie Hutchinson. 6'4", 305 offensive tackle out of Albany. Looks like he's had some issues with injuries in the past. He had a torn plantar fascia injury and an ankle sprain to return to the final 4 games of the 2023 season. And I don't know why they put 40 times on here, but I got notes of a 5.1 second 40-yard dash and 26 bench press reps. I like the 26 bench press reps. The 5.1, I mean, I guess if you blocking downfield, we need you to have some wheels on you because we got that motor in Marva, and we got 2 big motors back there, or fast motors back there, Lamar Jackson and Keaton. And Justin, sorry, 3. I'm disrespectful. He's a majored in accounting and balancing athletics with academics. Like I said, these things don't work out. He's got that academic degree he's chasing. He was in track. He was a thrower on the track team, and he served as a captain in Spacken Hill High School. Spacken Hill. I like that. All right, next. This is a brother of a top round pick in 2024. So Trevor Penny has a brother out there who happens to be 6'7", 308 pounds. And hopefully they got similar technique because I would love to see this guy fight and get a roster spot. He's an Iowa native. Like I said, he's Nebraska, cornhusking, cornbread, eating cats. Is coming to Baltimore. So he hails from Clear Lake, Iowa, bringing the Midwestern grit to the field. 6'6", some people are saying 6'6". I'm showing 6'7", 308 pounds. This says 6'6", 338 pounds. That's a huge difference. So I'm going to get my Google on and figure out what the true size is. He's got family ties, like I said, to Trevor Penley. And then, he plays multiple positions up and down the line. Dedication and relentless work and practices and games. That's all I had on that one. Next was, we're getting close to the end here. Jason Jones, a defensive lineman out of Auburn. Okay, let me go back. My brother says 6'9", 320, a walking shadow. yes. That was the other cat there. Yeah, 320 plus. That's just huge, man. 6'9". Dang, that's one of them cats you just tell them, just like I told my cousin D, hey, you eating last in Thanksgiving. You don't go first, bro. Because ain't nobody gonna eat. No, you gonna eat last. You stay out the house. Just stay. We'll call you inside when it's time. Yeah, that's him. All right. So next, we went to defense. That we're done with the offense now. These are some guys that we talked about defensive line. We needed that depth. These guys can bring the depth because they got the size. Jason Jones out of Auburn. He is his transfer experience. He transferred from Oregon before going to Auburn, kind of the exact opposite of Bo Nix. Bo Nix went from Auburn to Oregon. 6'6", 340 pounds. Accumulated over 83 career tackles, including 19 at Oregon. So, but like I said, when it comes to big boys, you're not really concerned about the tackle numbers. How can be utilized to push pockets, to disrupt, the things along those lines. So 6'6", 340, formidable presence on the defensive line. He's recognized for his leadership both on and off the field. I like guys who's in the notes for being leaders. Then there's back to Nebraska, baby. We got another Cornhusker. I'm telling you, this is crazy. LSU and Nebraska is taking over Baltimore. It's the new Alabama. Don't tell Ingraven that because they get mad because there's not a lot of Florida boys. Did we get any Florida guys in the draft? Let's see. I have to check. Y'all have to let me know because I'm pretty sure Ingraven is not too happy about that. Usually he loves his Florida Ravens, but we got Nebraska and lay out Louisiana. We good. All right, Nash, like Holland Nash. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's gonna be Nash Hutchmaker, defensive lineman, Nebraska, academic guy, three-time academic Big Ten, all Big Ten selection. It's 6'4", 310 pounds. I'm proud of his academics, but I mean, what's this guy gonna bring to the table as far as physicality? So he's a strength guy, strength and size, contributing significantly to the defensive line. And he's a wrestler. He's a wrestler, y'all. He's a standout wrestler in high school, showcasing his athletic versatility. There it is. That B word again, folks. Versatility. Don't be going nowhere else with that versatility. All right, and this next one, the final one, Daiwan Black out of Temple. He's an edge rusher. 6'3", 230 pounds, transfer journey. He transferred to Temple from the University of Florida. Is that like a? I think that might be a. I mean, I think that's kind of along those lines. 6'3", 240 pounds, bringing speed and power off the edge. Has experience playing both linebacker and defensive end positions. Versatility. High school star, was a top recruit coming out of high school, showcasing his potential. All right. And he's from Jackson, Mississippi. I love these cats from the South, folks. That's it. That's all of them, folks. I want to hear what y'all got to say, man. I've been over here just yapping. I need some water, man. All right. Brooke is fussing at me saying, time. It's time. West is from Florida, I think. Let me check. Over here. All right, LeJohntay. Let's see. Yeah, Florida Atlantic. Okay. I like it. Let's see here. I think Nash can make the team. I'm with you. He said he's got the best shot. The best shot to make the dream is a team is an undrafted free agent. I was gonna go with the cat. I know we kept talking about one of the guy that was like 6'4", the wide receiver. I mean, you gotta give him some props. What? And that was Jamal. I believe that was Jamal, right? So I made the rookie mistake of just tossing notes when I got done with it. Jamal Banks, 6'4", 220 pounds. Like we get this guy to be kind of that Darren Waller that we wanted Darren Waller to be. Woo-hoo. That'd be sweet. All right, let's see. Wester says, Brooks says he played for Atlanta. Thank you, appreciate that. And Wilbur says AFC North stand in ifs. What did you say, bro? Gerald wants to keep going. He's having too much of a good time. Hey, if you're having a good time, please share it with somebody. I ain't gonna go too much longer, but I'm just saying, just do me a favor and share it with people. We're gonna keep building this community and having a great time, folks. If you want to support the channel, of course, you can always donate. But the biggest thing for me is just building the community. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, folks. Brown's gonna be paper champs and nothing else. That is a norm. And then undrafted free agent wide receiver will not make this roster, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I'll be rooting for him, but honestly, there's a lot of hill to climb there. When you look at the top of the roster, we got Zay, we got Rashad, we got Wallace, we got Nuke. And then of course there's Tez. Tez gonna have an uphill climb. There's no guaranteed spot for Tez Walker. Even though he had one catch, one touchdown. Nice, but same time, it's like he's got an uphill battle because LeJohntay gonna come in there and ball. I'm gonna tell you right now, LeJohntay gonna be like, "Hey, I'm coming in the ball." Dayton Wade is going to be coming in and still competing. That's going to be exceptional to watch. To see all these wide receivers come in there and just tear camp loose, it's gonna be crazy. And then, like I said, Jamal from Nebraska over here, just Nebraska, the boys got to show up. Okay, it was supposed to say standings. What were you saying in the first place? We got to go back up here and see what Wilbur said. Wilbur said something. No, he didn't say this, but it has to be put up there. DK Metcalf equals Butterfingers. Y'all ain't right. All right. DK said AFC North standings. Yes. Okay. And so he claims that it's going to be the Steelers, then the Bengals, then the Ravens, and then the Browns at the bottom. I think that's pretty disrespectful. Oh, you meant it the other way. Okay, my fault. You know what I was doing. I know what I was doing there. Okay. Brooks says, I'm about to go yell at Camru when we get off. First show after the draft, and he's not here. Let's see what did he even send a text message? Say, you don't have to go. He said, it's too late now, bro. Pushing on. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I guess I sent the link like right when I think once the show started, I sent the link, but he said it was too late. And then BCam says, hope we get a space eater defensive tackle. I think with all these boys here, they're gonna be the nutritionists and the people that work in the chow hall for the Ravens. They got a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge on their hand. When you saw the cats is 320 plus pounds up in there, I don't envy it. I do not envy the chef because they're gonna have to continue. They're gonna be working 24/7 just to make lunch. It's gonna be just insane. Brooke is excited for Carson Benson. My brother said the Browns beat toilet paper champs to wipe the brown from now from the home butts. Right. I'm with you, which is funny. All right. Whoever says Camru is just sad. We got Sanders. He's crying. You know what? So hear me out. I said this on Twitter, and I didn't get too much conversation from it. It was crazy. They just left it blank. Nobody really wanted to comment. And this is before he got drafted. I said, what if we had picked up Sanders? I feel like he would have fit us just fine. Um, have him as a backup to Lamar. Yes, Cooper Rush is there, but Sanders would have came in, would have probably taught him and mentored him a bit, told Dion, like, look, we appreciate you, but go ahead and take a seat. You go ahead and you can sit on the sidelines, but don't touch the microphones, don't touch podcast. I want to hear nothing about the Ravens. You just go be a dad and be a Colorado coach over there while we take this young man and mold him into something. Here we go. Yeah, Pierce had to be 3 feet. Yeah. No, Pierce actually was 4'12". He came into camp at 4'12" at one point in time, and that's when Harbaugh kicked him out. And then he went over to Minnesota and realized he could play at that weight. And then he came back over to Baltimore. I think he was down about 380. But yeah, that's a big boy. That big old boy. I think he recognized he needed to retire in order to get his health in line. And I think that's important. There's some people, you can only go so long before the knees go out after you were that big for that long. Said, I forgot we got Cooper. We got Cooper. Cooper. What are you talking about? Cooper. I'm gonna look up. I'm drawing a blank. So I'm glad we didn't. Feels like NFL trying to break shit. Cooper Rush, yeah, sorry, Cooper Rush. I'm like, who we got? Cooper. Yeah. Said Ravens wouldn't have taken Sanders until late 6th or 7th because of roster gymnastics. Do you think that DaCosta did not mention the quarterback that he wanted to take because he was thinking about taking Sanders? Because he mentioned that in the presser. He was like, yeah, we think about taking a quarterback, but somebody took him ahead of us. And I'm thinking, like, hey, he probably thought, like, I should probably take this kid, take a shot, take a chance. Everybody else has passed him up, but we need just a backup for Lamar, somebody that can come and learn. Or even learn from Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush has real game time experience, and he's done some things for the boys. So, yeah, I'm getting old. You can see this hair. That's how, yeah, lots of hair right here. So, getting a little old, forgetting things. Like right now, I can't even remember half of the things my wife told me when she's leaving town. I'm in trouble. So, y'all pray for me on Tuesday and Wednesday because I'm out here just kind of with the kids, and there were some things I was supposed to remember. So, good times. So Wilbur says, I honestly think Sanders would have been better if the Ravens got him, but we will win a Super Bowl and bro. And after the show, Wilbur, we need you to go ahead and go take that drug test. Fill the cup up more than 3/4, they got to test all of it. Said Brooks says, I turned 35 in 2 weeks. Oh, you young and you. Let me know when your knees hurt, when your back hurt, when your back and your neck hurt, and your hip. I'm in physical therapy. They just telling me I don't know how to work out. It's painful. All right. Oh yeah, I'm in trouble. Yeah, I'm definitely in trouble because I got to wrangle kids and figure out temple stuff, and it's bad. All right, so we'll take about a couple more comments. Brooke says she loves Brown fans. She's happy and delusional. All right, we're gonna get about here. I still gotta get my workout in, man. I'm like on a 116-day streak over here trying to lose this weight. Let's see. But just know I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Y'all continue to have me falling off the couch because of the love. It is a genuine love here, y'all. Spend this time here with me. Like I said, y'all could be over here hanging out with your kids or whatever, but y'all on the show and y'all are active, and I appreciate it. It means the world to me that you are here rocking with your boy. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. And when you see Camru, tell him we missed him tonight. Wish he could have been here, but it's a good show. We have a lot of fun talking about the Ravens, and we're going to have to figure out how we're going to break down each one of these players because we got a long off season before I guess schedule release comes out in a few days. But after that, it's going to be a dry spell until camp. So I'm going to be here with you. But we're probably going to be talking about, like, I don't know, water polo, golf, LeBron, probably. Who knows? I don't know. We talk about whatever scandals going on at the White House. I don't even know. We going to talk it up. We're going to have a good time. But until then, please tune in to the home of Original Sports Perspective from our couch to yours. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack the bell. I'll give you 2 claps. I'm a fade to black.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Couch Rider. We gon' ride out. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.